So now let's go for AI impact in Office of the CFO. So here, for those who don't know what Office of the CFO means, you can think of it as all the tools related to what finance teams use to track a company's financial operations, accounting operations, the money going in, going out, tracking expenses, anything related to the finance function. So Office of the CFO is quite straightforward in the sense that it's used by all the teams in the Office of the CFO. To understand better what it does, AI in Office of CFO has four main functions with two that are emerging. The first one is automating the boring stuff. Basically, it reads invoices from expenses sheets and extracts all key data. So the name of the title of the operation, the code of the operation, the amount of the operation, and then it fills all the required fields and codes and transactions to match the payment automatically in the ERP or the software of the company. So hence, the first goal is to eliminate the repetitive administrative tasks finance teams spend hours on. Today also, it helps spotting weird things instantly. So it flags anomalies. If an expense is weird, or if they see that a transaction is weird, a payment to a supplier is not usual, it will flag it, and hence analysts in the finance team will be able to check if that payment is actually correct or not. For instance, we can see with Gen AI now that some people are able to create fake bills or fake invoices and send it to companies so that they receive payment. And often companies, some companies or big corporations, they process that automatically and just send the funds directly to ensure that payment is done. But it's a fake bill. So this today is trying to be countered by AI by Office of the CFO software implementing flagging anomalies AI processes. So it can highlight abnormal spends, sudden spikes, and outliers so that finance teams can manually review these and not check everyone independently. Early stage of AI in Office of the CFO today is that we see Gen AI, LLM-like in Office of CFO softwares. So it can create reports from a single prompt. So it checks all the accounting data at the general ledger, and you can explain why the expenses increase in Q2, and the Gen AI will analyze that and explain why it comes maybe from increase of salaries, promotions, or anything. And it can build charts also and do variance analyses and summarize comments automatically, explain month-over-month change in natural language, and also now we see another part that sends personalized reminders to customers or suppliers. So when, for instance, a customer didn't pay its bill yet, or a supplier or a supplier sends an email asking for more information on a certain type of thing, it can automatically answer if it has the answers at hand. And emerging today, we have the famous Agentic AI, and that's the end goal of AI in Office of CFO or AI in many other segments, is the ability to do to take ownership of the whole workflow on its own, and then the AI becomes the analysts that do the actual workflows, that drafts the closing reports, the consolidation reports, prepares the reconciliations, prepares the tax report too, and then the team in the Office of CFO has much more time to actually review the work and submit it instead of actually doing it. And this agentic AI acts like an autonomous finance assistant in some sense that completes all the tasks for you and resolves everything without human intervention. So of course that's more of a dreamlike scenario. We are not at all there yet. There are many issues to fix, such as the hallucination of AI issues, and also the confidence in in this type of thing that we will see later, and we will and why it can't be applied to every subsegment of AI in Office of CFO. So in a few words, AI takes over the busy work, so finance teams can focus on decisions and not workflow, administrative, and data entry tasks. Hope it's all clear for what's the purpose of AI in Office of CFO. We can go on the second part. I'm sure you all know that Office of CFO is quite a large space, so we have lots of sub-segments. So financial planning and budgeting, accounts receivable management, accounts payable management, cash and treasury management, and so on. And here in color-coded, you can see the AI disruption risk. In a few words, The tax management, financial closing, accounting booking, and cash treasury, so the four last in green, as well as ERPs, are considered low AI disruption risk simply because they are regulated and their importance is major, as a mistake can lead to high consequences, which is why AI is not the best tool to be used here. For instance, if you make an error in the tax management and submit a false tax report and then don't pay enough tax reports, you can have heavy fines, and you can't go there and justify saying, "But my AI said that." It's your role and your responsibility to ensure that the task is fully and well filled. On accounts receivable and accounts payable management, here it's not regulated. Of course, it can harm the reputation of the company, but it's mostly about taking data from bills, analyzing it, putting it in software, and ensuring payment. So here it's less complex as the four for last ones we talked about. Same for accounts payable and expense management. For financial planning and budgeting, here, as it's forward-looking and it's not financial closing and consolidating accounts, the risk is not regulatory, but it's still medium for AI to come and disrupt that, given the complexity of the work. So I hope that view is pretty clear. And for ERPs, the AI disruption risk is low, as it's very complex software that is also the single source of truth often of the companies. And companies are quite scared and don't want to apply AI to these softwares yet, given given it's their single source of truth and they don't want AI to mess up with that data. Then here it's another view of what I said here. You can see the AI disruption risk score in the x-axis and the segment assessment score, the segment attractiveness in the y-axis. This is how we measure the AI disruption risk, actually. We see that AP automation and expense management have high segment attractiveness, but low AI disruption risk, along with AR, as we said. And on the right, the low AI disruption risk are treasury, financial closing, European tax management, given they require significant human judgment, strategic decision making, and auditability, given they are regulated, and which is why AI today is not at risk of disrupting the industry. Next, another view, the same view as what we said before, but with more details. So I'm not going to comment yet on that here, but we can see that the ROI from AI use cases is considered high everywhere, given there's lots of workflows, lots of manual tasks and administrative tasks to handle in every of the subsegment. Hence, AI has a use case there. After, it's a matter of criticality, error tolerance, and stickiness of the softwares here for AI to come and actually disrupt the cases. And finally, for customer readiness, on the top bottom, we can see that generic AI today, so using ChatGPT alongside your tool, is not enough to actually replace your software, except in expense and AP management in some sense, with copilots and with OCR capabilities of the Gen AI. You are in some sense able to replicate a part or portion of the workflows your software does. After, it's a matter of also enabling it at scale that today is not possible. Just to show you how we actually measure and identify the significantness of the AI use cases among all these subsegments. And we can see on the top right, you have a bunch of agentic AI use cases. So it's just to say that what we believe and what experts believe will be the most disruptive use cases in the office of the CFO space are all of these agentic AI cases that will actually enable them to become reviewer and not executor of workflows. Another view of the slide we saw before, and we can see that in financial planning and billionaire management on the bottom, the AI use cases are considered very high, also in AP management, whereas for others it's considered still high, but not disruptive in very high AI use cases. Finally, let's look shortly at the benchmarking of vendors. What we do in AI in segment cases, we look at the AI disruption risk by subsegment, so AI disruption risk in the industry. Then we look at the AI use cases, and finally we look at the vendors. We have identified the Numeric, SideTrade, SAP, and Payhawk as the players with the best leading AI functionalities. And vendors with limited AI investments, surprisingly, are Anaplan, Abacum, Treasury, and Flowcast, given they have not invested yet and actually applied AI use cases in their software. And we also have strong AI capabilities at Stage, Infor, S&P Concur. However, we can see the growth dynamics are quite low compared to the top right players. So to actually assess that, we have 5 variables. The infrastructure readiness, which analyzes the ability to apply software, to apply AI and ML algorithms at scale at the company. The talent, so actual FTEs and AI engineers. The data sources integration, the deployment in production, so the actual AI use cases deployed in the software, and finally the explainability and governance, so the ability to explain how your AI models work and not just simply offer black box models to your clients without explaining how it works. So I think that is it for me on AI in the office of the CFO. Thank you very much for listening.